versus AgostoAllElite's Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor review. Let's get to it. I will like I will talk about the match cards. We have the 0 hour. Let's see, 0 hour. Okay, a zero. Willow Nightingale. We have Seas, Brian Cage, Tunga Leoa, and Khan versus the three other competitors. Colt Cabana versus Anthony Henry of the Workhorsemen. That's three. And the fourth, oh yeah.
Fourth one was Cheeseburger and Eli Isom versus Arya Davari, and I forgot who his partner was.
It was Eli.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's start with Willow versus Allison Kay. This was a good women's match. They showcased what they did.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
really enjoyed this match.
Yeah.
Willow Nightingale's getting better every match, and hopefully Allison Kay can get some show off here soon because she has really good wrestling skills. But Willow Nightingale is really good in the ring here, and I guess we'll have to find out because I feel like Willow Nightingale is probably going to get into the Ring of Honor Women's title shot soon. But
Yeah.
we'll talk about that when it gets there.
Yeah, okay. And now here comes the Colt Cabana versus Anthony Henry. This was a good matchup with Colt Cabana being a veteran and Anthony Henry, a young veteran, face each other. We had some action from the other workhorsemen, his partner.
This match was good. It was fine. It was what it needed to be. Anthony Henry. I don't know why I said it like that. Anthony Henry finally getting a spot on a Ring of Honor pay per view, even if it's 0 hour, it still counts, right?
Yep.
And formerly known as JD Drake for all you Evolve fans. JD Drake is a very good in ring worker, so I really enjoyed it.
And we had the Trustbusters, Ari Device, J versus Shinobi Shadow Squad, Cheeseburger, Eli Islam. This was a great tag team matchup. We saw some Cheeseburger and some action. Then we also got showcase of the Trustbusters, Ari Davari and Slim J. They shown pretty good skills. What do you think, in your opinion, on the match?
I love this match. Cheeseburger and Eli Isom. I love them as a team, man. They're really good in ring as a team. They showcased a lot here. Sure. I will say this. Sure, maybe it was a short match, but I will say this: it was good showing by Cheeseburger and Eli Isom. I don't care what anyone says. I think that Cheeseburger and Eli Isom are two of the best young. Cheeseburger's even that young anymore, is he? I don't even know. I forgot their age, but they are pretty good in the ring. So I'm looking forward to seeing where they go from here. But really good match with the right team winning.
All right, we have the Brian Cage and the Gates of Acme versus Alex Zane, Blake Christian, and Tony Dumpin. This was a great matchup from the showcase from Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony. They destroyed their opponents. We also had news that the embassy has been brought back to Ring of Honor with.
This
Yeah.
was a murder. It was such a good match. Just because first off, I love Brian Cage. Let me make that out clear. I'm a huge Brian Cage fan. 2, I'm a huge Blake Christian fan. 3, I'm a big Tony Deppen fan. And 4, I'm a big Alex Zane fan. Put all those together makes a great match. So I actually really enjoyed this match. Again, the right team won. Brian Cage, he Brian Cage is a big future if they book him well. But what are your thoughts on this match?
This was a good showcase with Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony. It was they showcased good skills, and it was
Yeah, it
pretty
was.
good. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
then we
Here the match card. We got the Ring of Honor World Champion John Gresham versus Castellano Castagnoli. We have the ROH six-man tag champions, the Archers versus Castle and the Boys. We have the ROH Pure Championship, Wheeler Utah versus Daniel Garcia. We have Roosh versus Yang Lee. ROH Women's Championship, Mercedes Martinez versus Serena Deeb. Champions Mojo versus Jay Lethal. ROH Tag Team Championship, Timothy Falls. Latia versus the Briscoes. So let's talk about the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view was so good. At times the crowd seemed dead, but there were several people attesting that the crowd was hot, and the audio of that pay-per-view didn't pick it up. Regardless of the show, what my opinion, six-man title match. That match has some good wrestling. The Tate Boys, random jobbers, in my opinion, but Castle has some charisma from Miles. He got the crowd interested in the match with honestly with no build. But the rest of the card was just great. Despite all the rumors, Gresham versus Claudia was a good match that may have ended a bit suddenly. Martinez versus D started a bit slow, but it was great by the end. I was still convinced that D died after the suplex from the top rope, but her Copes no sold it. The match. We had Yuta and Garcia. It was two good young wrestlers of the future of AEW, in my opinion. And besides, the Rush vs. Lee was a good match. It stirred to stash Rush as an asshole that would trick his brother. Regardless, it was a good matchup. We got Joe versus Lethal was a war. Lethal never fails to impress me. Joe looked like he hasn't missed a beat. This was still a good matchup. We got the Bristles versus FTR. It was match of the year. It was like two tag teams like ready to duke it out, ready to destroy each other. It was like a great presentation. That tag team main event.
Oh my god, what a show.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. Wow. First off, I'm gonna say this right off the bat. I get why they did it. But why in the hell did the Ring of Honor World Championship open up the show? I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Apparently backstage before the show started, there was a coin flip where the loser gets to open the show and the winner gets the main event. But everyone was winners tonight. Such a good show. I'm happy for my boy Claudio. Happy for my boy Dalton finally getting a title. The show was just really good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna point out one thing, and that is that finally Claudio is champion. Finally.
Yeah.
After literally being in WWE for what, 12 years? No, it's 12 years. Wow. And never getting a world championship. And even in NXT, he never won the title. And then finally getting the Ring of Honor world title. That's amazing. So I mean, I really enjoyed the opening match. The Dalton and the Boys against the Righteous.
Okay. Anyway, let's go to. All right.
Wait, what? Oh, oh, just a little confused, but yeah, Dalton and the Boys against the Righteous was really good as well. Dalton and the Boys showcased a lot. Finally taking those titles from the Righteous, that was pretty good as well. I'm gonna be honest, and Richie, you might agree with me on this. I don't know, but is it just me, or is the Righteous one of the best tag teams going around today? It's so cool to see the Righteous making their entrance. They have really cool wrestling. Just the whole appeal of the Righteous. They're one of the best stables right now in wrestling. Would you? So, I was talking about the Claudio and Gresham match. This match literally showcased Claudio as being worthy of a world championship. And I will say this right now. Don't you find it hardly interesting that the day after Vince McMahon retires, Cesaro gets a world championship? The day after. I find that pretty cool. But I don't know. I'm happy for Claudio. He deserves this moment. So I'm happy for him. Another thing I wanted to point out, I don't know if you heard this, Richie, but I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do Do you agree with me that the Righteous are one of the best stables going around right now? Because let's be honest with ourselves. They have the appeal, they have the entrance, they have the wrestling, they have the look, they have the everything. I feel like they are top 3 best stables right now. They're not top 2, but they're top 3. Because obviously you gotta put the Undisputed Elite up there. Obviously you got the Bullet Club. I'll put all those up there. But when push comes to shove, Righteous are number 3 in the best stables right now. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do agree in the end.
Yeah, because, I mean, they're just a really good stable, and I'm also happy for Dalton and the boys finally getting some 6-man tag team gold. That's pretty cool, So I really enjoyed that match.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I honestly, and here's one more thing I'll point out about Dalton and the boys. I feel like with Dalton and the boys, right? How old is Dalton Castle? Is he like what, 37, 38 now? I forgot how old he is. He might be even younger than that. I don't know. But
Yeah, still 30, so he's probably
30s,
playing
okay,
a
yeah.
child regardless.
That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I really thought that Dalton Castle needed one more championship on his legacy. He's a former Ring of Honor World Champion. He's a former Ring of Honor Television Champion. Now he has a Ring of Honor 6-man tag team titles in its record books. So, if and this is if somewhere down the line Dalton Castle can become Ring of Honor tag team champions, that will be huge for Dalton Castle's career. So I've always wanted him to become a Grand Slam champion in Ring of Honor, so I really enjoyed that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
really good match.
Yeah,
People might
alright,
underestimate the 6-man tag, but it was pretty good.
yeah. Alright, let's go to the scrums. Alright, I'll do the scrums. Alright, we got something. Customer said that he had held a run his first month with the company. It was a great top off his first world championship run. Ming Wen said he wanted to take it all and enjoy it. When asked before McCarthy do different types of wrestling as in AEW, he said it was a rhetorical question. He said, "You have the kind of freedom to express yourself in the ring, and he has a gift and he loves it." When asked if he felt unappreciated in the past, Casanova said that he didn't know if he was in the field underappreciated because the fans were always on his side. He isn't sure tonight's going to put a debate in the rest. He said, "This is just the beginning." He says there are expectations. Champion try and meet them. Regardless being a brass ring moment, Castanoli considers the last moment his brass ring, mentioning his Forbidden Door debut against Zack Sabre Jr. in the Blood and Guts match that took place later that week. When asked about John Gresham, and Castanoli said after ROH initially shut down in December, Gresham continued to keep the ROH World Champion alive, and they respect that. All right, what do you think of Castanoli's take?
I agree with him. And I will say this: I'm happy for Claudio coming to AEW because not only does it bring like him being Ring of Honor World Champion, for example, right? It brings a lot more eyes to Ring of Honor, and because you gotta have like, for example, if people are just now tuning in to Ring of Honor, they'll see the name Claudio Castagnoli. People will be like, "Oh my God, that's Cesaro." They'll tune in more. So the first thing I wanted to say was, congrats Cesaro on being a part of AEW Ring of Honor. That's cool. Second off, I agree with everything he's saying. And I will say this: may Ring of Honor live on forever, because isn't this what, their 20th year? I'm pretty sure it's their 20th year. So I mean, I'm happy for Ring of Honor, happy for Claudio, and his take was it was perfect.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All
What's
right,
your
let's
thoughts on the
go
take?
with Utah's next. Utah said that had all the opportunity is to be special and didn't know he would be there if there was an AEW. He said he should be independent for another 5 or 10 years. Based on the interview, Garcia came out and complained that Utah pinned him with a roll up and a wrestling move. Utah dismissed him, said he'll see him on Wednesday. What do you got to say about what Utah said?
Hey yo, first off, Yuta and Garcia put on an instant classic at Death Before Dishonor. I'll say that first off. Second off, what really you said, much like Cesaro, I have to agree with him 100%. Um, I am looking forward to seeing where Wheeler Yuta goes from here, because let's be honest with ourselves for a second. Wheeler Yuta, he has a bright future, and right now, with him being Ring of Honor Pure Champion, that means they see something in Wheeler Yuta. You know what I mean? So I see a very bright future in Wheeler Yuta, but I agree with what he said in the media scrum, and yeah, I'm looking forward to see where Wheeler Yuta goes from here.
Yeah, okay. All right, here's one from FTR. Dax Harwood said that Khan left him to do something good for himself pro wrestling, always trying to leave something behind. To be able what they have done for this year means a lot. Kashiwa said that they kept going and stopped the overwhelming in the possible way. When asked about wrestling anxieties, Harwood said they were going to try and top the last match. The new wrestling crowd would appreciate it. He said that having anxieties about wrestling matches is nothing compared to anxieties of life. He's on Zoloft and taken to a therapist. Weir says there's no stigma when it comes to mental health. Howard said in the main event show that is where you work for a kind of legacy that you want to leave behind. Real estate have been proud of their team for their career. Regardless, the end of the show was celebrated a win with a young fan. They both say they didn't know who the kid was other than his name was Austin. And his son said he was the FTR's number one fan. They wanted to have a cool moment with him. Then we saw Sting brought up with Harwood say he's told Sting prior to their match at Arthur Ashe Stadium, if you want to go 30 minutes, they wanted the team to do it. He said after the match, Sting sent him voicemail thanking them. He said he had self-doubts for the match. He was happy to read the social media posts that he still had it. What is your take on this?
Dude, I'm gonna say this first off. FTR and the Briscoes put on my favorite match of the year. And that's hard to say because the first match they had in April, they took that and they made it even better. So I have to thank FTR for that. Second off, what they said was true, you know. And honestly, I'm gonna say this right now. Here's what I believe is gonna happen at Final Battle this year. We're gonna have FTR Briscoes one final time, and it's gonna be Briscoes are gonna put their what's one legacy on the line. That was what I'm looking for. They're they're wrestling. If they lose, they retire. I don't know the name of what. Yeah, if they lose, they retire. That's what I think's gonna happen in the final battle this year. So, and the Briscoes will finally get the win there. So for right now, I'm gonna say FTR the best team in the world right now, and I love what they said. I love the match. I just loved Ring of Honor last night. It was just a really good show.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I agree with what FTR said.
Okay. All right, let's go to Tony Khan. During the cast interview, Khan mentioned Casanoli was supposed to make a debut on the show as a mystery opponent, but plans changed after Dan said able to compete at Forbidden Door. Regarding the ROH World Championship match, opened the show. Khan said he wanted a great match to kick off the show to set the pace for the night. Khan said tonight's Dishonor show was one of the top three biggest Ring of Honor pay-per-view shows ever, top one of the four highest attended shows, and the most attended ROH show that wasn't held during WrestleMania weekend. During the scrum, he noted appointed about like 25,000 buys digitally. When asked about CM Punk, Khan says he didn't want to say anything as Punk gave an update on his injury at AEW Comic Con panel and said he's healing on track but couldn't commit to his return All Out September. Regarding ROH or AEW integration, Khan suggested we could see that even after ROH got a television deal. He mentioned that New Japan wrestlers could also compete again in ROH. Khan repeatedly brought this for his first show with RH and Warner Bros. Discovery worked together via a Bleacher Report and got texts from both Warner Brothers and Discovery people collaborating him on his tight show. When asked why he booked Rush for Dragon Lee, Khan said they have a lot of history and they were both a match. On Pierce Nana buying out Tully Branch Enterprise, Khan said the Blanche is doing well personally, wishing the best, saying he could have seen an Ada RH again in the future. He also praised Nana as an RH legend. He could have commented on the cultural status of the Castle of the Boys, but enjoyed that match. Regardless, the Briscoes, they will be a big part of the Ring of Honor moving forward as they are signed to long-term deals, but not sure where they will appear on Dynamite or Rampage. On interview asked about potential names such as Mary Canales, Mike Bennett, Matt Taven, Brian Milan coming after ROH. Khan said there are great talents brought by people from ROH past who are on the card tonight, such as Duppin and Slim J. Regarding Slim J, Khan said he should have been wrestling a lot more in the last 2 decades. There's optimism regarding a TVD pointing to the online buy success of tonight's show. Khan praised Martinez says it's tremendous. He recalls the situation with Booker T and Namia Khan signing her, but Khan was able to do so as he made one-time appearance out to AEW Central or TV deal. Khan praised Booker T and Jim Cornette. And Khan said they have the right to criticize the product. They said a lot of corners said the product was fair. Khan praised his wife, said everything he knew about business learned from his dad, praised him on taking a chance on AEW even when he didn't believe it. Regarding the sale, Khan said it happened very quick and had to make a decision would they sell to the other average person it was sold to. Khan flatly rejected the idea that Ring of Honor was a developmental league for AEW, and he sees AEW Dark as a developmental brand. So, what is your take on the whole Scrum and Tony Khan's take?
First off, I think that here's what I see happening. He has Dark, he has Elevation. Just go along with me here. Every single week, you use Elevation as Ring of Honor's TV show, and you use Dark for AEW's developmental Dark brand. That's just an idea I'm throwing out there. Second off, I don't know if you said this. You might have. You'll have to let me know if you did. But when he was asked about Johnny Gargano, he hit them with a no comment, then straightly looked at his phone. So, what could be happening? We'll have to see. But I just love what Tony Khan's been doing for this business over the past couple years, and I think he for a lot of wrestling fans, he saved our interest in wrestling. You know what I mean? Because in 2019, when you just had WWE and TNA, or Impact, and sure, you had a couple others in New Japan, fine. But still, WWE was so sports entertainment that we were getting super tired of it. And then AEW came around. So, first off, I know Vince McMahon just retired a couple days ago, but I'm thinking Tony Khan right now. But yeah. So I agree with what he said, 100%. So yeah, I agree with that 100%. So yeah, I agree with that 100%. And yeah.
Yeah. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right. All right. This was review. This was Deathproof Dishonor review. All right. I'll see you all Saturday for AgostoAllElite podcast.
All right.
All right. See y'all
See
later.
y'all later.